kind of make it hard for me to date is I've also run into some complications since my surgery, and one of them is I have a blood clot in the artery of my right leg, which is causing it to swell 2 to 3 times its normal size because I'm not getting proper blood circulation. And the other complication is I have an 8-inch incision, just about 1.5 inches from my God-given incision, which, ladies, is not allowing me proper blood circulation. All back on board the bus. This is so bad. So you boys get limp dick, I've got limp clit. Is that too much? Sorry. But so this is bad. This is very bad. I'm single and dating again. This is bad. So I go to the doctor and I'm talking to her about it, right? And she gives me 2 prescriptions. One for compression stocking, and then the other for Viagra. Hey doc, I'm wearing your surgical sausage case. Not gonna need the Viagra. Because there's nothing sexy about lingerie purchased at CVS. You cannot walk up to a girl and be like, hey baby, would you like to run your hand at my 85% spandex, 15% lycra in a top? It's not hot. You don't get some prescription I did fill though. Viagra, yeah, absolutely. But when I went to the pharmacy to pick up my prescription, I didn't realize how expensive these little blue diamonds were. I like to refer to as pubic zirconia. But they're like $12 a pill. So now everything I do, I now calculate in my head. And I'll fill up my car with gas, I'm like, fuck, that's 3 Viagra. Long walk to Auburn with a heart on. I did that show in Manchester, New Hampshire one time, and this woman came up to me after the show, and she felt bad for me, and she thought I was cute, and she felt bad about the Viagra thing, so we started dating. And I can take what I can get. And I met her shortly after my wife and I separated, and I don't like to call her my rebound, but more like Novocaine. And she was quite a bit older than I was too, and she had 4 kids. We were all from the same dad. I like to throw that out there. It's like this phase she was going through. See that? I got myself a MILF. My mother, I let fold my laundry. And now, I like the kids. The kids and I got along very well. The 2 youngest and I, 7 and 9, we got along really well because they had those Webkins. Are you familiar with the Webkins? You know the Webkins? All right, if you're not familiar with the Webkins, it's like a little stuffed animal that you can buy at Hallmark, right? Then you have to go home and register it online, and then you got to feed it every day and take it to work and build it a house, the whole 9 yards. Friends of mine thought it would be cute to get me a Webkins while I was recovering from surgery for something to do, you know? So when the kids find out I have a Webkin, they put all their friends at school on my Webkin buddy list, right? You know, I had more Webkins friends than MySpace friends. Like, I was the coolest fucking 3rd grader ever. And then the 2 oldest kids would constantly hit me up for money. They were 13 and 15, they'd go to the mall, the movies, right? I would go and pick her up for a date and they would just dump me upside down for change. And I'm like, I just said to him one day, I was like, you know what, I think your kids owe me like $700. He said, I don't want to interrupt their bonding with you. Bonding? The kids and I will bond when they realize my name is Amy T and not ATM. She is a therapist, right? She never listened, ever. We would be halfway through an argument, she'd be like, that's all the time we have for today. It's my turn. She would say things to me like, you better watch it. You better watch it, you're on thin ice. Because she would have a book of rules, and I didn't know she had a book of rules until I broke them. You know what I mean? Like rule number 32, no sleeping with other people. So I find a loophole. I'm like, what about threesomes? She's like, you better watch it. You better watch it, you're on thin ice. 2 months into dating, she talks me into going to couples counseling. Thank you. The audience last night thought nothing wrong with that, so I'm like, but they were all lesbians too. So but no, that's ridiculous, right? But I was kind of digging on her with a big shovel, so I was like, all right, I'll go. So, you know, I have to tell you, I kind of went on a dating spree, so it was kind of hard for her to find a lesbian therapist in Boston that I hadn't dated. But I give her credit because with some perseverance and persistence, she finds one in Connecticut. So we're sitting there in the office, and I got my notebook next to me, and she just looks at me all dreamy eyes. She's like, that is the sweetest thing. And I'm like, what's that? She goes, you gonna take notes while we're in there? I'm like, are you kidding me? We're gonna be in an hour. There's gotta be something funny coming out of this. She's like, you better watch it. You better watch it, you're on thin ice. It's funny, I just looked right at her. I was like, you know what? You should know that I walk on water because you're the one that's always screaming, oh God. That is my favorite. And I cannot wait for her to hear it on the DVD. And she was perimenopausal, so she'd break up with me constantly. 4 days out of the month, completely irrational. So my friends would tell me that I'm lucky, and I'm like, how am I lucky? They're like, Amy T, by the time you go through menopause, she's gonna be understanding. I said, by the time I go through menopause, she's gonna have Alzheimer's, gonna forget what a bitch she was. Which makes me want to go back to my original girlfriend, Gretchen, my navigation system for my car. I love her. I love her, my GPS, my guaranteed pussy substitute. I love her. She talks to me, right? You know, like she says the best things. I will get lost on purpose just so she'll talk to me. Because she will say things to me like, you know, when possible, make a legal U-turn. Followed by a hard right turn. I think I'm blushing up here right now. But she's perfect. She offers me companionship and guidance, right? And her advice is always right. Not like a therapist or MapQuest. And unlike my ex-girlfriend, she allows me to mount her on the dash.